Over the years, The Walking Dead has had countless memorable scenes, but one of Dead City's greatest moments would have been perfect if not for a massive plot hole. Ever since the zombie universe branched out into spin-offs, the franchise has tried plenty of new things, with each project feeling creative in its own unique way. Dead City stands out for its New York backdrop, with the second installment also introducing a ruthless power struggle over control of Manhattan. This led to Dead City Season 2's ending ramping up the action, creating some truly tense and captivating confrontations. Maggie and the Dharma's face-off proved to be compelling, while the final battle between Maggie, Negan, and Pillai had extremely high stakes. However, the finale's most interesting scene was easily Negan and the Baraz's showdown with Bruegel's faction. Although the two groups claimed they wanted to negotiate with each other, they always planned on betraying their rival gang, leading to Negan setting a clever trap. While this didn't lead to the villain's death right away, Negan did brutally kill Bruegel later on, but the ambush scene had one glaring issue that prevents it from being a truly iconic sequence. Negan's trap in The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2's finale suffers from a major plot hole. The zombies should have made noise before Negan flipped the table. A group of zombies crawling from under a table in The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2. With Negan embracing some of his evil genius in Dead City Season 2's finale, it's no surprise that the trap he laid out for Bruegel and his army was extremely effective. Unfortunately, it also contained an unforgivable plot hole. While Bruegel arrived at the Barazi church to negotiate about the methane, it was abundantly clear his real goal was to kill Negan and take Manhattan's power source for himself. Anticipating this, Negan laid out an elaborate plan that caught the villain and his army off guard, leading to a fascinating battle. Setting out a feast for Bruegel's people, Negan insisted that his rival faction eat, but Bruegel refused and told the Barazi to enjoy the banquet so it wouldn't go to waste, quietly assuming that Negan had poisoned the food. Considering Negan told a story earlier in the season about poisoning his previous enemies, it seemed like a good bit of judgment from the antagonist, but the former Savior's leader had a different idea instead. After taking a bite of the food, he flipped the table, revealing walkers were hiding underneath that quickly started heading towards Bruegel's gang. Negan proceeded to lock the doors and set the place on fire, giving his foes nowhere to go. On the surface, it was an excellent bit of strategy that shows just how clever and sadistic Negan can be. However, it makes no sense that the walkers didn't make any noise until the table was flipped. Surely in a room full of humans and food, the zombies would have been incredibly rowdy, yet they seemed to behave until given their cue, which feels like a huge plot hole. The moment made for some incredible drama and produced an intense fight sequence, but there's no way the undead would have stayed quiet for so long. Considering Dead City ignored zombies for most of the finale, I shouldn't complain about the one time they were used, but it's extremely difficult to look past this blunder. The plot hole ruins what is otherwise a great Walking Dead moment. Negan's plan was incredibly entertaining, but it's hard to look past the continuity error. Given how exciting the confrontation was between the Barazi and Bruegel's gang, I can't help but feel the plot hole ruined an otherwise excellent scene. Seeing two of the most charismatic characters in the franchise go back and forth while trying to figure out each other's angle was a lot of fun. Equally, Negan's plan itself was also incredibly entertaining, as was the reveal that Bruegel had stashed weapons in the statue he brought as a gift. The fight itself didn't disappoint either, with the fiery background really outlining just how much was at stake. Even the aftermath was great, as Bruegel's Walking Dead death felt extremely poetic and reminded the audience why Negan was such a phenomenal villain back in the day. Sadly, there was no real explanation given as to how these walkers stayed silently under the table, especially since they made noise the moment they were revealed. Therefore, the twist may have made for a thrilling moment, but Dead City Season 2's zombie attack lacked logic and could have been done in a more detailed way, which impacted the entire sequence.